Hello, I'm Simon. Welcome back to the workshop. Now, a friend of mine, Malcolm, recently gave me this new but old bench grinder. He bought it 25 years ago, but you can see he's never used it. The plug is still in its plastic bag and the guards and guides and things haven't yet been installed. Now, I've already got a bench grinder on my flip cart, so I don't really need another one, but I thought that this would be an ideal opportunity to convert a bench grinder into a polishing machine. So let's get tinkering. The first thing I'm going to do is strip this down a bit more. I'm going to remove all the guards and I'm going to remove the grinding stones. I'm hoping this mod will be quite easy. I've got some polishing buffs and a couple of adapters so that I can fit the buffs to the polishing machine. The idea of these adapters is you could easily change from one polishing buff to another, and therefore I can have 3 different polishing buffs even though I've only got 2 wheels, and I can make sure that I only ever use one sort of polish on one buff. The buffs are the same size as the grinding wheels, which is 6-inch, and therefore a 1/2-inch arbor. Once I put the adapter on, they should fit snugly onto that. The buffs themselves are made of cotton. They're a stitched type and they're about 1 inch thick each. So what I've noticed is the shaft, whilst it's supposed to be 1/2 inch, actually gets a little bit wider towards the end, and therefore the adapters won't go all the way onto the shaft. So I'm just going to put the adapters into the lathe and modify them slightly so that I can sit them all the way on the shaft. At the moment only one of the grub screws is engaging, and I don't think that's enough. I think we need both grub screws to engage. So I've been really struggling to find a lathe tool that will actually work for this situation. I've found one that will partly do the job in the right place, but I'm not a machinist. I'm completely self-taught, so I'm probably doing something completely wrong. If you've got any suggestions on how I do this better next time, then let me know in the comments. Okay, I've heard what you're saying. I can hear you shouting at me, for Pete's sake, use a drill bit. So I've bought a drill bit and I'll come back once it's arrived. The drill bit's arrived, so let's see if this does a job. So everyone who shouted at me to use a drill, you were completely right. That was such a simple task using the drill. Who would have thought you could use a drill to cut holes? So this project has taught me a number of valuable lessons, some of which I thought I'd already learnt. If you want to find out what they are, please watch to the very end. This polisher is really quiet. That's a really good sign of a good machine. But I'm not finished yet. I have 3 different sorts of polish bars that I can use, so I need to have 3 buffing wheels, which is why I put the pointy ends onto the grinder so I can quickly change buffing mops. But if I am changing the buffing mops, then I need somewhere for them to go. So we need a little cabinet for this to sit on, where I can store all of the consumables. Now, just like saws, lasers have a kerf. That's the thickness of the line that it cuts. And you have to apply that thickness either to your drawing, or you can apply it when you convert the drawing into G-code, which is the code that the laser uses to cut. Now, I'd done the latter, but for some reason it's not worked. So I did a load of kerf tests, applying different values of kerf to see which ones worked best. It hadn't really changed much, but I applied the new kerf values and outputted some new G-code, did another cut, and it didn't seem to apply it, didn't seem to make any difference at all. So I don't know why the software that I'm using, Lightburn, isn't actually applying the kerf correctly. Seems to do it when I draw things manually, but it doesn't seem to be applying it when I generate a model from one of these box generation websites. So I'm left correcting it manually using a file. Now you might be wondering what I've learnt from this build, and you might be wondering why I haven't put the drawers into the slots in the cabinet. And that's because when I built the drawers, I built them the wrong size. I used internal dimensions when I meant to use external dimensions. And as a result, the drawers don't fit the cabinet. In order to get myself out of the pickle that I've got myself in, I'm going to make another one of these cabinets to fit the drawers, and then I'll make some drawers to fit this cabinet. And then at least I'll have two cabinets and I can decide what I do with the other one. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, then please leave me a thumbs up. It makes a massive difference to this little channel. If you know someone that might enjoy this video, then please share it with them. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. It's completely free. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.